Hello, guys. Welcome back. This is your girl, Michelle Diamond, and your host, of course, for In the House Media TV inside of 285 House Calls. We are back with another amazing session with the wonderful Deontay Bolden, award winning author, actor, director, producer, host, and so much more. Okay, and I'm just excited. Today has been phenomenal. And Deontay, thank you very much for joining us. I know that you have so many things coming up, and I just want you to introduce yourself to the people and let them know a little bit about who Mr. Bolden is.
Yes, I'm Deontay Bolden. As she said, I am an actor, a writer, recently an award-winning author of my book Purpose Pains, director, doing it all. Consider myself a philanthropist as well. Kept putting my fingers into different things that I'm working on as well. And I'm originally was born in Washington D.C. Lived in Los Angeles for a while, and recently moved to Atlanta 2 years ago to really just get situated and really start focusing on my production company.
Correct.
I'm a Christian man of God, a true believer in the faith, and I'm just a guy who likes to inspire people, encourage people through the arts. I feel like there's so much negativity going on in the world that we need some people who are spreading the message of Christ, but also inspiring people at the same time and giving people hope, especially in the midst of all the chaos and confusion that's going on right
Oh,
now.
yeah, it's very chaotic, I must say. And you mentioned LA. I know that you are a member of Town Street Theater Company. How did that all derive? How did you get involved with that?
Well, I was in Los Angeles and I love theater. And if you're an actor, I highly recommend theater. I'm still in touch with my Town Street family. I met some great people, and it was just not an opportunity to audition. At the time, it was a lot of the police brutality and a lot of the racism going on, and
Mhm.
I saw a lot of the work that they were doing. We did a thing called In Response, which a lot of us creative people were writing, and just putting our voices to what was going on and being able to utilize our voice and creativity to express our thoughts on the current matter. And
Matter.
Town
Right.
Street was just an African American theater company that really helped to enhance my career as well. And I wrote a piece called No Justice, which I also turned into a little bit of the project that I'm going to be working on.
Working on, right? Yeah, I saw that. Amazing. And we're going to delve into that a little bit.
Yeah.
So I know that you mentioned Purpose Pains, and
Mhm.
congratulations on your awards. That was a 2020 Accomplished Literacy Award,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
And what inspired you to write Purpose Pains? Let the audience know what Purpose Pains is about.
Well, Purpose Pains is a book that's just my introspective autobiography that I use to encourage people. If I could sum it up in one sentence, it's to don't let your pain define your purpose. And we all come from different backgrounds. And, I wanted to write a book that will encourage people that no matter what you go through or where you come from, it's about where you're going that matters.
Mhm.
And God uses every aspects of our lives, even the painful experiences, to help to push us towards our destiny. And growing up for me, I faced a lot of things. I was born um, um, into a family that eventually became a single family because my mom, she was became a single mother, and my mom and dad divorced when I was 4, and my brother had muscular dystrophy, which was a disability. He
Right.
died in 2006, and it was just a lot of things that I faced in my life. Thank you, and I never understood why I went through what I went through, but I realized where I'm going now. Had I not went through those experiences, then I wouldn't be where I am today. So I just use a lot of my personal experiences and painful experiences and really break down how God has pushed me towards my destiny. I broke down what pains is. P is for preparation, A is for adaptation, I is for illumination, because God shines light on a lot of things that we need to.
Wow.
N is navigation, and then S is supplication, because God really wants to use us and get us to a place where we really solely depend on Him and ask Him for guidance. So that's what purpose things is about.
That is amazing. And, we just got off the other interview, with the amazing Dr. Ellaby. And some of what you're saying is basically some of the things that we discussed about faith and how having, you know, a connection or a relationship, with our Father, if you're a believer, of course, and why it's relevant, especially dealing with and maneuvering through things that we all face in life,
Mm-hmm.
because we all have our own pains and sufferings and obstacles that we go through, and just being able to combat that. And everybody heals in their own time, and I I won't use the word hate. I dislike when people usually pushes and say, "Oh, get over it." I commend you because you turned that into something that you could share with others on how to get through, maneuver your way through, and ultimately just having faith and stand firm, and being a believer. So that kudos to you on that.
And one of the things I did mention in the book is either you're going to sit in your pain and wallow in your pain, or you're going to use it and move and let it push you to the next level. So that's what encourages.
Thank you, boop. And I love that next level. See that
Yeah.
I'm always about the next level. That's the reason for my logo and the name of my company. I always believe in pushing yourself to the next level. Absolutely. And I love that mentality because you have to maintain a growth mindset. You cannot sit stagnant. Stagnancy gets you nowhere. And it's absolutely relevant for people to reflect.
Mm-hmm.
Reflection is always good. Self-reflection, reflecting through the pain, understanding why it happened, how it happened, and whether it was meant for you, not meant for you. There's always a purpose. And, when you find that, then you're able to truly heal, so absolutely. I love that. So I know that you started out, with acting and so forth. And then January 2015, soon to be 6 years coming up, January 2021, you actually became the CEO and started your own company, Deontay Bolin Productions.
Yeah.
So did you have that vision since a child to actually become an actor and even owning your own production company?
I always wanted to act.
Hmm.
I was always in talent shows, wanting to be in front of the cameras. I got like old videotapes of my mom when I was little, just wanting to get in front of those old tape recorders and with the microphones on it and want to be seen. But when I went to Los Angeles, my idea was just to pursue acting. I went to college and it was just a point in my life where I was just like, I know this is what I want to do. So I moved to Los Angeles, got into acting, and on set of one of my productions that I was in, met a guy, and I was telling him about my ideas that I have for like writing. And he was like, speaking into me, he was like, there is a writer in you. You need to write because there's so much that you have that God wants to get out of you, and you just need to put the pen to the paper and write. So I just got in front of my laptop one day and just started writing and creating things. And it's been an up and down journey with my production company because I'm learning a lot. And I took a little break, a hiatus when I got to Atlanta because things wasn't working out in Los Angeles. And recently, after writing this book, Purpose Pains, God was telling me it's time for you to really, after my stage production, because I did a stage production last year called Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places.
Correct.
It sold out 2 shows here in Atlanta, which I'm surprised. I'm proud of. Praise God. And God was like, I'm ready for you to get back into filming, especially with everything that's going on right now. The Skin I'm In came as one of my
I'm
scripts.
gonna audition for the next one. Yes. Look,
Come on.
I'm ready. Yes. I mean, you've done some amazing things. I followed you, I read about you, and I know that you've also worked alongside Palmer Williams, who is of Tyler Perry Studios. So you've done, and that was in the Christmas Carol.
Yes, we did Christmas Carol in 2018, and I auditioned for a role here at the Marietta Theater in the Square, and Palmer Williams was the lead. He played Scrooge, which was
Right.
we did a twist on the Christmas Carol, and I played 3 characters in it, and it was very exciting but tiring because we had a whole month of shows, December of 2018, and it was a great experience to be around someone in the industry. I met a lot of industry people during my time in this business, and you realize realized that everybody has their own journey that they go through, and he was very encouraging, and still is a very encouraging person. I run into him every now and then. So
That's awesome. So, um, you found that an amazing experience, and I know that you've done so many other plays. You've starred in A Raisin in the Sun,
mhm.
Holidays, and I have to look. Dylan Douglas does
Yeah.
a do over.
Yes, my first lead role was Dylan Douglas Does a Do-Over, and I did A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry, and originally written by Lorraine Hansberry in Los Angeles. And a friend of mine's, James Turner, he put me in Holidays, and all of those were lead roles, and I was very proud of that. It really pushed me as an actor. It was a lot of lines, it was a lot of work, but when you do the work and study and always studying your craft, then you begin to push yourself. And acting has really taught me a lot as being a director. And being a director has taught me a lot being an actor. So they kind of work hand in hand with me, because being a director, you deal with a lot of things with actors, and it made me realize and appreciate directors when I work on their sets, because I know what they go through and what they experience. And one of the keys is really listening and following directions. And I'm learning that even through my casting process now for my film. It's very important to listen, follow instructions, and yeah, I'm learning a lot.
Okay, awesome. So I know you've worked with a lot of people.
Hmm.
You've worked with some great celebrities, in their own rights and so forth. Who have you not worked with as of yet that you would love the opportunity to work with
As a writer or as an actor or
as an actor?
as an actor, well, I have been submitting for Tyler Perry Productions. If that ever, God see fit, that happens, that would be great. And if I would work with any actor alongside any actor, as an actor and a director, one of my key people I would love to, and I would die a happy person if I would ever get the chance to work with Forrest Whitaker. He is one of the greatest actors in my opinion. I love Forrest Whitaker's work. The Last King of
He's
Scotland.
amazing. He's amazing.
Butler, yes, he's just wonderful. I
Yes.
love him in The Great Debaters. Just a phenomenal actor, and I just don't see Forrest when I see his movies. I see the
Yeah.
character, and I know he will push me as a director and an actor.
Okay, that's awesome. So with moving or transitioning from, acting and writing into the director role, what challenges have you encountered, like, with the transition, or do you feel like they go hand in hand or they complement each other?
I think being a director, you have to have more patience. And that's one thing that God is working with me on, because my patience is not where it should be. And God knows how to really help to push you as a person as well. Because a lot of times we just say, oh, I'm going to work on certain things. But God is like, I'm going to use what you love the most and help you to learn the most lessons through that what I want to teach you. And being a director, you have to have a lot of patience, because you work with different personalities and people have different ways of how they do things. And even though I set the foundations as a director, I still have to deal with these different types of personalities. As an actor, you just go to set, do what you need to do. And yeah, you got to work with people, but it's just like, let me do my job, go to my trailer, or go where I
So
need to go.
true.
And I don't need to be around people. But as a director, you have to love on everybody. You have to reel them in. You got to, and I always say sometimes with certain actors, they're like children. You have to get everybody together and make sure everything falls in line and make sure everybody got what they need. So it's taught me a lot of patience, and it's taught me a lot about myself. That I have to learn how to love people more, and love on people more, because we all come from different walks of life, and you just never know what people are going through. And that's not to say that I would tolerate anything, because I'm still a boss, but you know, but
However, you understand, and you could meet them at their level of perception. However, does not mean that you have to,
yeah,
embrace everything. You have to
right.
cipher through, and whether it's going to work for us or it's not going to work for us. Meet them where they
Absolutely.
are.
If
So
I've had those moments, yes, and come, yeah.
absolutely get it.
Yeah.
Absolutely get it. So, I mean, being in this industry, I know that it's a up and down,
Hmm.
pattern. Um, what do you think is the most challenging?
Been in the industry, I would say friendships I've learned the
Ooh,
hard way. You know, being,
that,
yes,
that's amazing. It's so true. We just talked about that, but go ahead. This is crazy.
yeah, relationships, because you just never know who's trying to connect to you and what the purpose that they want to connect to you for. And I'm very particular at this moment because I've learned a lot. I'm 31 now, and 30s is just a point in life where you're like, I don't care if we're friends or not. I love you. I love Jesus. God might not be done with you, but I am, that kind of
Right.
thing. But yeah, relationships are really hard because, in this industry, people are either trying to network with you because they want to get something from you, or they're trying to compete with you. And it's just a up and down thing. And I've lost a lot of friendships. I feel like sometimes people are friends with you until God is elevating you
To the
above,
next level.
yeah, to the next level. And I've had to deal with that as well. And friendships are very hard because I hate to say it, but I say it with love. There's a lot of artificial people, and not enough real and authentic people in this industry.
Authenticity is very
Yeah,
real. Yeah.
and loyalty, you don't really see that a lot. So
Loyalty over royalty. We preach
yeah.
that all the time. Yes.
And the successful road is a lonely road, and I can count friendships on my hand. I have a lot of acquaintances and associates, but I don't really have a lot of friends. I just keep my circle real small because everybody's not for you. So
That's so true. Everybody that's cheering you on doesn't necessarily mean that they're cheering you on for the right things. So,
absolutely.
absolutely,
Mhm.
we all have the same experiences, and it's so sad because collectively in this industry, and we were just speaking about that, and not only in the industry as a people, if we work together, it's so much more that we can achieve. And
Mhm.
one of the things that we discussed and we're passionate about here at In the House Media, and even with my own company, Next Level Promotion, is that we believe in giving back and being truly passionate about what you do. It's not so much about the monetary, part of it. Yes,
Mhm.
monetary means are always great. It's
Mhm.
always a good incentive. However, if you don't have passion for something, you're not going to dedicate yourself to it, and you're not going to charge full force ahead, and when you go and you give willingly and openly, things come to you. It opens so many doors and opportunities. And what I love about Mr. Dorn and In the House Media is that welcoming everyone into In the House Media
Mhm.
and providing that step ladder and that opportunity, and then just asking you to pay it forward. And I believe that in any industry, that's what we're supposed to do, pay it forward, because you're lifting and upbuilding with somebody else, you're teaching. And I believe that that's what's lacking right now.
Absolutely. And I think it's a confidence issue. When you're really confident in who God created you to be, I like to see other people winning. And, I like to connect with other people. And I don't feel intimidated by people because people
Love
are,
it.
I guess in the industry that I'm in or in the field I'm in, I like to embrace people because it's like
Right.
if he wins, I can win as well. And we're all winning. And,
Correct.
you have to just be confident in who God created you to be. There's only one Deontay Bolden, and God, whatever He put inside of me, it's for me. So I don't have to be intimidated by my brother or sister who is rising as well. And what I don't like is egos because I just don't have time for that. That's a whole different, ball game.
Ball game, yes.
Some
Ego
people,
is
yeah,
the main problem. You are so right. Like, you're hitting all the nails on the head. We discussed
mhm,
that, and it's crazy. You have to be you. You have to
mhm,
be unique, and you have to stay true to yourself. If you don't stay true to yourself and what you stand for, you're
mhm,
not going to progress. You're always going to find yourself repeating or going back around in the same circle. And the reason why, the lesson that was meant for you, you didn't grasp it yet. So you're going to keep repeating it until you grasp that lesson, and then you can move forward. See,
mhm,
that's where that stagnancy, resonate. And we don't have time for stagnancy.
mhm, yeah.
We have full speed ahead, so
Absolutely, and I've learned that, and I have people who I were connected to, and sometimes you'll go back and see, well, where has God brought them from, and they had those egos or those attitudes. That's another thing I don't like, the people with nasty attitudes, and you see that they haven't gotten anywhere, and I think that's a big issue as well. Some people just don't know how to treat people, you know,
That's
and
true.
I'm very careful about how I treat people. My cast, my crew. I try to pay people if that's what I'm supposed to do. I try to be honest and I
Mm,
try to build a great foundation. So I think
foundation is everything.
reputation is key in this industry. So
Oh yes, absolutely, because it can help you or it could bring you right down.
mhm,
It's a force to be reckoned with. As I say, show me your company. I tell you who you are. Word
mhm,
of mouth travels faster than
mhm,
anything else, so you always have to make sure that you bring your A game at all times. So
absolutely.
you have it together, and I see you doing your thing. I know you did. Let me see. You have several podcasts that you have going on. I saw the book talk show. It's the Authors Lounge,
Well,
right?
yeah, we have DNA podcast.
Thanks for power.
Yeah, DNA podcast, Power and Power is a part of DNA podcast. So DNA podcast, we have it's a podcast bi-weekly that me and Jazz and Beloved do, and it's discovering, nurturing, and applying God's word to our everyday lives. And we're just a bunch of young people who are, on fire for God, and really just laying a platform where we can show love and embrace people and not judge. We want to talk about real life issues, and we bring transparency. And we also, under DNA Podcast, we have our weekly sessions that we do. So I have Power to Empower on Wednesdays. Jazz does Fridays with her Pieces of Me, and Beloved is Mondays with Tats. And it just gives us individuality, and helps us to be independent as well and not depend on each other, and really show more about personalities as well. So I had a Power to Empower special this past week where I did a authors lounge, and
I saw that. I went back and watched it. So
yeah,
yeah, I
I went
did.
and I just talked to different authors, and embrace people just like what we were talking about, bringing other people in as God elevates you, bring some other people with you. And I really just wanted to talk to different authors and encourage authors and allow them to encourage other people, because everybody, I believe, has a book in them if they really sit down, and want to really write something and create something special, because we all got some
A
stories.
story to tell. Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty much where we are. And my Power to Empower session every Wednesday. I feel God's going to take it off somewhere else in the future as well. I just like to empower people through my journey, and that's a part of me giving back to people, encouraging people, because people have been watching my journey and have been inspired by it. Praise God, and I just want people to understand that whatever God is doing for me, He can do for you as well. So.
Absolutely. So, with everything that's going on in our world,
Mhm.
what are your viewpoints on the current state and, encouraging, people to vote and, you know, taking back their power as well as dealing with the pandemic? So, I'm throwing two questions out to you.
Uh,
And, B, the pandemic, how did you, you know, cope? What kept you sane, through it all?
One thing is prayer, and my relationship with God. I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world, and I realize the true meaning of that, because it's a lot going on, and of course, I'm abiding by the laws of the land and wearing my mask. So I continue to encourage people to wear your mask and be safe. But my creativity has also helped me to be creative, because DNA podcast was birthed through the pandemic. Before COVID hit, we were actually going to go to a studio and do something, with
Right.
this. And I sat on it for a while, and I was like, okay, Lord, I'm not going to do it right now. COVID hit. Let me just sit back like everybody else. And God was like, no, you still got a job to do. You need to do this. It's social media. You got all these platforms. Get it going. So I did it. Just being able to be an encouragement to other people. It's a sad time because it's a loss for us creatives. I was supposed to do a stage play this year, and it didn't happen, and I wasn't able to fully promote my book the way I wanted it to.
Right.
Do a book signing, so it was a loss. But at the same time too, I just learned how to push through it. I don't believe that God is finished with us speaking and doing what it is that we can do. Um, right now, we need to use our voice, use our platforms to be able to encourage people. There's so many people who are out of jobs, going through financially. So many people that just need an ounce of hope and just need to get on social media and be able to see something that can encourage them to get through this difficult time.
Absolutely.
And as far as voting, oh my God, I don't want to get political, but um, vote. Me and my mom were talking about this today, and I love my mom. I'm close to my mom. Shout out to my mom, Yvette. But we were talking about how important it is to vote, my mom, she was just saying, how some of her friends was like, I'm not gonna vote, due to my religion or what I believe and things like that. And it's just, no religion can make me feel like I can't utilize my voice and vote and see who I want in office, who is going to help to make this country best as possible as it can be, and help to, continue, insurance and the Affordable Care Act and all those things that help people to be able to, cope through this pandemic, and people are losing their lives and sick and things like that. Whoever we place in office is really dictating our future to a certain extent. God dictates our future, but
Correct.
some say in it as well. So I just encourage people to vote, let your voice be heard. And like I've heard people say before, and I say, y'all said it, and I'm going to drop the mic. No vote means no voice. And that's so true. So please go out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you believe that not only, when it comes to, the presidential election, um, do you believe that, people need to also pay attention to their local governance as well? Because that's what matters the most, Yes, the big ship, of course, but when it comes to your immediate environment where you're living, then, and this is something we discussed earlier as well,
Mm-hmm.
it's absolutely important. And I know, even with my CEO, he stressed that, talking about, our local government,
Mm-hmm.
what it is important and what we see transpiring. How did you feel about all the stuff that, the Atlanta mayor went through and everything with the governor and it's so much.
Where do I start? Oh my God. I'm not gonna get on here and bash anybody, but I'm gonna just say that our governor is interesting. And it's just sad to see that so many people have lost lives, and so many people have, come in contact with this COVID-19, and people lost loved ones, but yet and still we are still not taking this seriously. And it shows a lot. And this pandemic really, I believe that God used this pandemic to really uncover our eyes and reveal the true hearts of people
2020.
who are in leadership. And it's very sad, that, during this time we had the governor and the mayor going back and forth about a simple issue of people wearing masks. And as much as I don't like to wear my mask, let me tell you, I wear it because it's a sign of respect for people, and it's also to protect yourself. And
And
just,
others.
yeah, and others, and it's simple issues like that should not be a big issue. We have bigger fish to fry. We got so much other things going on, and it's just ridiculous. And I was just really, really embarrassed to a certain extent for, our leaders, and I was just very appalled by some of the things that's been going on even now, with this issue. And I definitely agree. It's important that we make sure that we vote for, within our communities as well, because that affects, our states, our children, our families. And yeah, it's a lot of wolf in sheep's clothing, and, our political, um, campaign
Arena.
on. Yeah.
Yes.
So please vote, pray, and ask God to lead you to who, and study people. It's so sad too where people are going to the polls and not knowing who they're voting for. They want to just vote because they're within a certain party. Make sure that whoever you're voting for also stands for what you believe in
You
as well.
believe in
I
and
was going
represent
on
you.
Yeah, I was going on before I voted. I was going and Googling people, seeing what they stand for. I was doing my homework and research. I was acting like I was writing a research paper, you know.
Absolutely, you have to,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to your livelihood. Like,
Hmm.
people don't understand, and I mean, I totally get it. I know a lot of people that I speak to, they're like, "Oh, our vote really doesn't even matter," because it comes down to the electoral. We learned that in school, and a lot of that is absolutely true. However, you know, when it comes down to ensuring that your voice is heard, you know, there's more ways than one. A lot of people, when it comes to the election, they believe that it starts or stops there. I believe that, you know, it starts with you as a person, like what you stand for, what you believe in, and what you advocate for, or what you're an activist for. If you want the change, be the change that you're seeking. Associate yourself with some of the committees, or associate yourself with going out and speaking to the people or to the children, because what a lot of us don't realize, yes, the older ones, the middle generation, uh, they have a lot to say so, but we have the millennials and then the younger ones coming up now. And this is where a lot of the focus needs to be. We have to get to the younger ones, because we have to start molding, and that's what they do with mainstream media and so forth. They're molding and giving certain perception, through television and mainstream media, about what is right or what is wrong. We have to do that work, the groundwork, and make sure that we are giving these people the proper education.
Absolutely. Even if you have businesses and everything, I always say, all of that can be affected by who you put in office. And it's important, if you're trying to build, a lot of people are sitting down and they have businesses. And I'm like, well, you need to be out voting because you don't know what, who's going to be in office, who's going to make decisions that are going to affect your business,
Correct.
whatever. So it's a very important, and it always take me back to my very first election that I voted for, Obama. When we rallied together and we really knew who we wanted to vote for, and we wanted to put him in office, and we wanted to change. People were tired around that time. People were fed up. People wanted to see a change, and just us using our voices, and our platforms to make that change and put him into office, whether people agree or disagree of him being in office. As African Americans, we were using our voice and we used our power to make sure that we've got this man in office, and made a difference. So I tell people and I encourage people, we need to be like that, and even more now. If we want to see a difference, then we need to let our voices be heard.
Heard, right. But you see, with that, it takes consistency,
Hmm.
and we have to, and that's what consistency and cohesiveness, we have to
Hmm.
maintain that. It cannot just be, and we talked about that a couple of weeks ago as well. It cannot just be when something occurs, oh, we need to get this person out of office, or oh, we need a new person in. We have to be consistent every
Hmm.
day, every hour, every minute, where it counts, because that's what is going to define the end result, being consistent all the way through. We can't just pick and choose when we want to stand up to be as one as a people.
Right.
We have to do this continuously, and unconditionally.
Hmm.
And I could go on and on and on about it, but we're going to leave that for another day and another topic. Maybe we can have it on your podcast.
Okay.
We'll come in to talk about that. But
Yeah.
neither here or there. I admire you. I admire all the hard work that you've been doing. I think as a young, Black man coming up, having your own production company, I think that's amazing. Kudos to you. You're giving back. You're giving people another platform to express themselves. I think that is so relevant in this time and age right now. And I just want to know who motivated you, or what is your motive behind all of that?
I think my biggest motivation is just wanting to leave a legacy. I think it's important. And I was talking to one of my friends, as a Black man, and as African Americans, period. I feel like a lot of times we don't put a lot of focus on building a foundation, a legacy, something that can be left behind, from generation to generation. I'm somebody's hopefully grandfather one day, and they can look back and be like, hey, my grandfather built this from the ground up, and do something. And my motivation is that because I want to be able to stand for something, and when the Lord decides to take me away from here years from now, when I'm 100 and something years old, I'm claiming it in my hot bed, drinking
Amen.
and taking my last breath, I want to be able to say that I did something, and I've helped to build a kingdom and do something, for Christ, as well. And I want to, use my voice to be able to minister to people through the arts. And as far as inspiration, I'm inspired by so many different people. I think Tyler Perry is a great inspiration because he is a Black man that is building his own, and kind of caving his way through the industry and carving his way, and his own path. And as much as people don't try to give him credit for what he's doing, whether you like his art or not, he's a man that's really building. And I feel like if he can do it, many of us can do it as well. He has his lane and I have my lane. But that's my motivation, and to be able to take care of my mom and my family, and
Amazing.
hopefully one day have children, and a wife. That's down the line. Right now I'm
Yay.
working, but it's that's motivation to me. I'm just a go-getter. I don't feel like I need to waste any moment of the day sitting around not doing anything. I want to build, and I look at so many people that's been on the journey with me that I've
Right.
been going at, and working with. So it's been a great, great thing. I believe in taking breaks, but I like to work, and keep grinding. So.
That's awesome. Well, I feel that that is a great motive. Um,
Hmm.
Leaving a legacy is always important, and
Hmm.
having a long run, goals and an objective is an amazing thing. I could see you with your wife and your children and leaving that legacy behind. So definitely kudos there. And let the audience know about all the good stuff that you have working on coming up, what's in store, what we could look forward to.
Well, I have a short film I'm working on. It's called The Skin I'm In. I'm actually wrapping up the casting for that this weekend. And it's a short film that's dealing with racism, colorism. It's a story about Melanie Hart, who is a biracial girl, and she grew up struggling with her identity because she's mixed with black and white, and she struggled with, is she more white or is she more black? And growing up, she was bullied for that. So now she's a grown woman with her own daughter, and she's pretty much instilling a lot of colorism, racist thoughts in her daughter's head. And she realizes in the end, she feels like she's protecting her, but in the end, she realizes that she's been doing more harm to her daughter than she is good. And she
Mhm.
pretty much goes through a journey of learning how to embrace herself and teaching her daughter the same, because her daughter faces racism in a way that she didn't think that she would. So it just tells the story of learning how to embrace one's beauty and who you are. And it's such a sensitive topic right now, but I feel like I wanted to create something that's going to bring a message, but also bring positivity. So that's coming because we're filming that in March 2021.
Yeah.
What else is going on? The podcast is continuing. We're doing more panel discussions. We come on every other Saturday. So our next Saturday is October the 31st, and we have a panel discussion. Well, no, we canceled the panel discussion, but we're going to have a discussion and bring people in if they want to. Halloween, that's a big discussion in the Christian community. Should we celebrate? Should we not? Should the kids go trick or treating? Should they not? So that's coming up as well.
Amazing topic.
Yeah, and it makes a great topic because everybody has their own ideas and opinions, and we
Of
have no
course.
judgment zone.
Absolutely.
So that's coming up. What else is coming up? Working on some web series that's coming up down the line in the future. I'm also working on a big project. I can't speak on it too
Say
much.
yet. Oh, look, I was
Yeah,
hoping. I was
yeah.
hoping.
December, I'm going to
Stay
be making an
tuned.
announcement.
Stay tuned. Okay,
So
just
stay
stay
tuned.
tuned.
Yes,
Yes,
I'll
that's
be
why I'm like,
posting.
yep.
Yeah, but it's something that I feel like is needed. And it's something that I want to do to really acknowledge people in the industry as well. So that's coming 2022, but it's 2021 is when it's going to launch, and I'm really going
Right.
to start putting it
I'm
together.
here for it. Yes.
Yes,
I'm
so
here
that's
for it.
coming December the 24th. I'll be making the official
The
announcement.
announcement.
And,
Stay
and
tuned. December the 24th, guys. You heard it from
yeah,
him right here on
I,
In the House Media House Calls, first and
yeah,
foremost. Okay.
yes, I haven't announced it anywhere else. So yeah, December the 24th.
Yes.
And just really, in the early stages of writing another book, but right now just promoting Purpose Pains as well, and writing scripts. I'm working on a script
Awesome.
now, and it's called Essence. So I'm excited about that. It's going to be a drama, and always just staying busy. It's a
Awesome.
lot going on. I'm always right now. I have a whole bunch of scripts, so I'm like, Lord, when you're ready for them, And the Skin I'm In is a 3-part series, so we're filming Melanin and Melanie of the Skin I'm In, which is part volume 1 in March, and hopefully we'll be filming volume 2 the end of next year or the following year. And looking for Love in All the Wrong Places. My stage play is coming back October the 2nd and 3rd of 2021.
Yes.
So yeah, right after we film the short film, we're going to get right on the stage and bring you that stage production next year.
Yes, and those were sold out shows, so you guys better get on the ball. Y'all heard it right here, okay?
Hopefully travel
2021.
with that as well. Yeah,
Ye-
hopefully we travel with that as well.
Yes,
We'll see what God has.
it's going to happen. We're going to speak it into its manifestation, affirmations. It's going to happen. Yes,
Yes,
we're going to say 2021 is going to be much better than 2020. 2020 allowed us to just recoup and build some more and get
absolutely.
prepared for all that God has in store. That's what we're going with, and we're sticking
Yeah.
to it. Amen.
Yes, I
Yes.
say 2021 is going to be go time. We had 2020 the whole year to plan and put it together, the
Execute.
ideas, and now 2021 is time to take off. So,
Yes, exactly. Psh, like that missile, okay? Absolutely phenomenal. Well, guys, there you have it. Let the people know where they can find all your information, especially since you're going to have a lot of casting calls coming up. I heard Essence and a lot of more
mm,
scripts in motion. So I definitely know. Let them know where they can find you and where they can definitely get details on that big December announcement.
yes. So, all the information, if you actually go to the website now, I kind of got a little snippet of what's to come for that big announcement on 2020, and I'm sorry, December 24th,
Right.
2020. But it's on my website, and all my links are there as well to my social media accounts. It's www.Deontay, like you see on the screen, Deontay boldenproductions.com. And if you go there, you'll be able to get the official casting, which is in the casting section, social media links. And if you go on there, you'll be able to actually see a little bit of what I have going on that will be announced on December 24th.
Right.
And yeah, follow me on all my social media accounts, Deontay Bolden Productions on Facebook and Instagram. And stay tuned on what I'm doing, because when I make my announcements, I put them all on there. My castings, you'll see all the productions I have. My web series, The Price of Fame, Wicked. We got a whole bunch of things. Soul Ties. All of those are web series that are coming, and films coming as well. So
Yes, yes, and we are all here for it and excited. So, guys, we appreciate you tuning in, and thank you again to my wonderful guest, Mr. Deontay Bolden. He is
thanks
amazing.
for
He
having
has
me.
so many amazing things coming up, guys. So, this is your girl Michelle Diamond here within the House Media House Calls, and just to let you guys know, we're going to be doing some things with Deontay, and not only that, I just want to make sure that you guys remember to check us out on November 19th. Okay, for Are You Ready for Prime Time? That is our indie R&B showcase, and we're calling all our indie R&B artists. And if you have questions or concerns, info.inthehousemedia@gmail.com, or you can hit me up at nextlevelpromotion@gmail.com. come out. You will not be disappointed. Multiple celebrity guests in the building, and we're going to keep you in tune with what's going on with Mr. Bolden. As you heard it here, first and foremost, about December. Okay. And we appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much, Deontay. We love you. And I can't wait to do much, much more. Okay.
Love you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Bye, guys.